When most people think of the Avengers, they think of Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, the Trinity, if you will, of Marvel's Avengers. Now, if you are a comic book fan, that stance may be a tad different. Throughout the years, many different superheroes have had their place on the team, from Moondragon up to and including Hercules. However, there have been some consistent faces throughout the years that aren't just Hulk or Cap, with one of them being the legendary Archer himself, Hawkeye. On the normie surface level, many people see just a guy with a bow and an arrow. A Robin Hood, if you will. Some comic fans might even say Hawkeye is just Marvel's response to DC's Green Arrow. Maybe a debate for another day. This is where the age-old question sparks, what makes Hawkeye great? Well, my friend, I have that answer for you right here.
As I suspected, 32 flavors.
What if, and I ask of you, what if I told you that Hawkeye was the one Avenger who was able to put a stop to the Collector? What? Are you kidding me? Inconceivable! Yep, I know what you were thinking. Clint Barton, the common man, the Collector, an ancient alien cosmic being, a wielder of the power primordial. Now, how does one write this and make that make sense? Well, I got great news for you, my friend. It has been done and documented in the Avengers number 174, co-written by Bill Mantlo and Jim Shooter, with eye candy pencils from David Wenzel. Let us not forget that George Perez cover to boot. Now, the Avengers number 174 can be read one of two ways: on its own merits, done in one type of thing, or as another piece of the puzzle to the larger storyline at play in the vein of the Korvac saga. The comic starts with four of our heroes realizing most of the other heroes, Avengers, have been kidnapped. So it's Iron Man, it's Thor, it's the Wasp, and Hawkeye teleporting to a spaceship where they see their friend stuck behind these glass tube thingies, and they see that the man who had accomplished this was the Collector. Things start off rough as Thor gets his hammer trapped and is stuck and attached to it. Talk about fucked right off the bat. And then these missiles come launching at Iron Man, and they stick to him and they freeze his armor. So now he's stuck in his armor. Holy shit. And then there's this flying disc that goes around and it captures the Wasp, and you think, oh, she'll break out. And she tries to break out only to get shocked for trying to break out. And there's only one guy left. Hawkeye. Hawkeye? Yeah, you're like, oh man, he's the last guy left. He's gotta be absolutely screwed. Clint launches his first arrow, wasting no time, that grabs a weapon from his nemesis. And then the Collector gets on the run. He tries sending this pterodactyl-like lizard after Clint, only for our friendly Archer to unleash an arrow that pins the wings together, preventing the creature from flying to take flight once more. Only realizing that he underestimated the lone Avenger standing, the Collector gets very desperate and he pelts some bullets to the ramp that start a fire. And of course, Clint was ready for this as well and took to the ceiling with his crafty bow and arrows and went after the villain from above, getting away from the fire with much success, might I add. Clint cuts down a line that he has to get close to the Collector as he sees him and has him in his sights. Now Clint has his attention, and the villain is shocked that he cannot keep a regular man down, making his last-ditch effort, because, man, you just, he's like, what? Come on, no, you're supposed to just be the regular guy, you're not supposed to be the one doing this. So, in order to try to get away from Hawkeye, the Collector tries to bring down some walls on Clint, hoping to squash him like a bug, only for Clint to have one last arrow ready to strike down at a deep in concentration Collector, because he's all in his concentration mode, wanting to squish him. And this one last arrow is a warhead that contained an electrical charge that shocked the Collector and brought him to the ground. The regular man won. The space alien of godlike powers Zero! The collector speaks of his plan and why he needed to collect the heroes and preserve them. It was all part of a larger scheme because that's what villains do. But we're not going to get into that whole why because in this particular subject, it's not relevant. We're talking about what makes Hawkeye cool, what makes him great. And that, my friends, is the moment we learned how your average Joe can take down an elder space being and how it can be written to be believable and sold. So the next time you're having those comic book debates and Hawkeye comes to mind, let this be your starting example of why Clint Barton is a hero, and a damn great one at that. There are many other examples out there. Maybe for another video, maybe for another stream, but I felt this one was emphasizing the most on why the other Avengers matter besides the big three. Because there's always going to be a great moment for the Vision. There's always going to be a great moment for Black Widow. But we're talking about our boy here. For those of you who are particularly interested in the comic, you can either buy a digital copy on like Comixology or something if you want to do that, or you could do those other ways, you know. I'm not gonna say them. Just, you didn't hear that from me. Or if you want to be one of those physical guys, you can scour the webs, the eBays of the world for an old copy, or maybe some comic shop might have it. I don't know. Or if you want to be one of those collected edition types of guys, there is the Avengers Korvac Saga book right over here. You can buy that collected edition, and that particular issue is in there within the whole storyline, so get more bang for your buck that way. Now this is the part where I say thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you felt like you learned something new today. Until next time, may our paths cross again.